This is Senior Memories, featuring stories about your history, your community, your family. Join us as we remember.
In 1949, I was born, the youngest of 6 children, in Rea, Pennsylvania. My parents and my older brothers and sisters, Catherine, Marion, John, and Paul, lived in a house in Rea that was destroyed by fire. They lost everything. They moved into a small house in Rea with 1 bedroom. It didn't have hot water. It had no indoor plumbing. We had an outhouse, and it had a coal furnace. It had a large sun porch, and that's where the kids made their bedroom. My dad would go to Avella and buy the coal. When he brought it home, he'd shovel it off with a large coal shovel. That's what my brother David and I used as a sled in the winter. Now, the coal bin was located under the sun porch, which was our bedroom. It was not insulated, so it was really cold. My mother made a large panina, which is a feather ticks, and she stuffed it with chicken feathers from the chicken she raised, and that's what I slept under. We also had goats and lambs, rabbits, and a lot of cats and dogs. Now, the house was about 75 feet from the railroad track, and all of us kids would go down across the railroad track, through the cow pasture to the creek. There was a large swimming hole there that we used, and it was deep enough that the boys hung a bull rope from one of the trees, and we could swing out and drop down into the water. The only thing we had to be careful of was the crawfish, and we always took book of matches with us, just in case a leech got on us. And in the fall, my mother would take us down through that same cow pasture, and we would gather mushrooms that she called the pinks. They were white with a little bit of bright pink underneath. And then she would take a needle and thread and string all the mushrooms and hang them over our register and dry. And she would keep them till Christmas. And on Christmas Eve, she'd make a mushroom soup out of it. We didn't have a lot of money, so we couldn't take vacations. But my dad worked for a Mesta Machine in Homestead, and they would have a Kennywood day every summer. Now, it would be in the 1950s, and we'd all get into my dad's station wagon, which was called a Woody, and it had the wooden sides on it. When we got to Kennywood, each ride had to have a ticket to get on. So Mesta Machine would give us books of tickets for each family. It was something that we look forward to every year. And I went to Kennywood that way through my 6th year in school. In 2002, my mother passed away, and I put out a notebook for people if they'd like to write a memory of her. And my cousin Jim, who's about 14 years older than I am, and he lived in Washington, wrote how much he loved to come out to Aunt Mary's in the summer and be in the country. And it made me smile because I wanted to go into the city and be at Aunt Anne's, because they lived on North Franklin Street, which isn't far from downtown, so you could walk up and go to a movie or go to Murphy's 5 and 10, and especially liked going to Islay's and getting a Skyscraper ice cream cone. Now, they had a dipper that was shaped like this, and when they went down into the ice cream and put it in the cone, it actually stood up out of the cone, and it made me be happy that my cousin wanted to be in the country and I wanted to be in the city, like the storybook, The Country Mouse and the City Mouse.
Senior Memories. Remembering the times of our lives.